Lucifer series 1 to 6, the whole series. Let's just talk about it all in one video, all in one go. And I've also got the box set as well, so yeah, let's go. So I really enjoyed this. However, there's a big problem at the beginning, and I really didn't think I was going to like Lucifer because of Lucifer. So the way he was acting and the way it was for the last, I say 4 episodes of the first series, I struggled to get on board with Lucifer. I really didn't like his character that much. But by the end of episode 7 of series 1, I started to enjoy his character. Series 2, one of my favourite series actually. I'd say series 2, series 5 and 6 are my faves. And series 3 is my weakest. But series 2 really hooked me on board. It's got my favourite scene in. So my favourite scene from Lucifer is when Lucifer's coming back from hell to for Chloe, and Amenadiel's like taking out these security guards in the hospital, and obviously human stuff could damage the process of Chloe surviving and stuff like that. So yeah, and the music playing to that was incredible. I just loved the whole sequence of Amenadiel taking him out and then about to take out, and then Lucifer just comes in time, and everyone's it's just perfect scene for me. So that's definitely my highlight of Lucifer, that scene alone. We'll try and talk about some individual characters. So Dan was a rocky one. I enjoyed and didn't. And towards the end, I just didn't really care for Dan. So that's on me. My mate likes him. So he might be a popular character. I don't know. I just didn't mind Dan. Should we talk about Dan's daughter? Chloe and Dan's daughter. Trix, is it? She was great as a little kid. She was absolutely fun and played off the banter with Lucifer. And obviously pulling up tricks for chocolate and stuff. And then she just dwindled away, and then they had to reference her here and there and just pull her out for one episode of series. And when we really got to series 6, she just felt out of place, literally. And the acting was... but the actor as a child was really good. So I don't get why with Trix it just didn't work as an adult. So I'm never a fan of recast, but I would have recast her. I know that's harsh to say, but I think she perfectly portrayed as a kid, did well. As the kid grown up, the acting was naff. They didn't really have much to do with her. It didn't work for me. I did like Trix and Maze's connection, though. I thought that was real cool. I know this is a lot of negative, but don't worry, we're getting to positives now. A character who I actually always forget the name of. This one right here, the lovable one that helps us along the way, who's very religious and rightfully so gets pissed off by series 6. She works out that Lucifer's the devil, Chloe's this, and Amenadiel's an angel, and she works out all this, and then she gets annoyed that when she's worked it out, none of them told her and stuff like that. So that was a thing that Lucifer had to correct and definitely comfort her towards the goodbye. I thought worked quite well. I do like her character. I just never remember her character's name, sadly. I think she's a lot of fun and bubbliness that brings to the scene and to episodes. Another character that works quite well is, as I like to call it, Amenadiel's partner slash the counsellor. The counsellor, as I like to call it. And she's also been in Diary of a Wimpy Kid, who played the mom with that. I think the counsellor is great, and I love her literally doing it to God, to all of the people. Let's just say she did it to every single character in the show, really. So let's not name off the ones, to be fair. But she was great for what she was worth, and I think an interesting take to go down. Who'd have thought mixing the devil and detectives, and then who would have thought to put the devil with a counsellor, and then this and that? It's just an incredibly brilliant show. And I just, yeah, hats off to that. Now, I'm going in character order of favourites here, if you haven't noticed. Next up is Amenadiel. Now, he has a massive character growth of going, playing that, Lucifer, you're going to be in control. This like that. To mellowing down and being normal like a human to them becoming God at the end of the show. Actually, his character development is insane. And while we're on Lucifer's brother, Amenadiel, let's get on to some other brothers. So we did see Lucifer's mom possessing a body at one point, and then obviously going into her own universe. We did see Lucifer's dad, the god. And they did a scene with this, like, I'm going to say trampish guy, literally. And I thought he was actually God at one point, but it turns out he wasn't. It was just an object hallucinating that guy to think he was God. But when we did bring God into the show, I thought they were never going to do it. So I thought maybe religious people might get offended for actually bringing God, and that's why we've never seen heaven. This show did that eventually. It tweaked around and did it. And I thought that was brilliantly well done, and how much they teased and how much time it took us to get to heaven and to see God at some point. It all worked perfectly. And yeah, another one is Lucifer's twin brother. Now, he was probably the best villain we had. I think the acting of, I think the actor who plays Lucifer is called Tom. So, Tom Ellis, I think. So, here, him playing Lucifer and then playing his brother Mark, is it? Marcus? Either way, was exceptionally, incredibly beautiful and brilliant. And the fight scenes they had, the choreography of when the humans are frozen and they're having that fight scene with Maze and stuff, and then God finally appears. That was done so well, and I loved that. Lucifer's daughter. I thought, yeah, all right. And towards the end, yeah, all right, she was good. Also, she was in Deadpool as one of the X-Men children, which was with Colossus and stuff. That's a cool little thing that I noticed. But yeah, that's really nice. I really liked her and the time travel thing they did for the final series, and giving Lucifer his destiny, I guess you could say, of helping the lost souls of hell, giving his purpose, and the whole twist of Lucifer would never abandon his child. What turns out differently, and I think that's brilliant. And I really like her story arc with Lucifer. So yeah, I'm happy with the twist of Lucifer's child. So Amenadiel, yet again, solid character, and I really enjoyed it, especially his child getting wings at the end and going, yes. I love that. The musical, shall we go on to some episodes after the characters we've talked about? Maze, just next up on the list because I actually find her really attractive and she's stunning. But Maze's character as well was pretty good, and that's why she's high up in this list, because we've got Maze obviously falling for Eve, and we have obviously the ex coming in at one episode or another, and Eve constantly sabotaging herself in fear of being her mom, and you know, a demon having a soul and her whole arc. But actual fact of her, how solid she was, to then, like Amenadiel, tweaking out of it and just wanting love and something different. And Lucifer and Amenadiel didn't give it at her, and it caused a lot of conflict, leading her to Lucifer's twin brother manipulating her in dark different ways as well. So there's that. Now, netting on to Chloe. Now, Chloe was a brilliant character from the get-go. However, her characters pretty much stayed the same, but I feel like she's a lot more at ease towards series 5 and 6. Like, her characters, like, oh, okay, I know I can be cool. But the series 1, Chloe is just, like, strict and, you know, just like, okay, and this and that. But Chloe towards 5 and 6 are a lot more at ease, and that's interesting to see. Now, Lucifer himself. Lucifer is a brilliant actor, the actor who plays him. And yet again, like a twin thing, I've seen incredible. But the biggest thing for me was hating the character of Lucifer and thinking, this show might not be for me. For series 1 and 2, they did have the strict, here's Lucifer and Chloe, and they bounce off each other, and then they have to solve a crime. But when they added the rare occasion of God stuff and like the sword of this and that and that sort of thing was interesting, but it very felt repetitive and intriguing towards series 4. Series 4 was where it really was like, okay, there's a lot more God stuff. Lucifer's mom, series 3, Doctor 2 sort of thing, and the brothers popping down. There was a lot more God stuff than just solving crimes for this show. And that's where this really works and pays off in a different direction for me. Like, I really enjoyed that stuff. So we get onto some interesting stuff like the musical episode. The first 3 music songs I really enjoyed. The others started to cringe me out a little bit, but I like the experiment they did. Also, the black and white episode with Maze and the ring. It plays an interesting part. It's cool. It's interesting. Yet again, the cartoon episode, experimenting in a different way. And they're not afraid to do that. They're not just doing the repetitives. Here, solve a crime, do this. Solve a crime, do this. They do the odd different thing in occasions, which I thought was incredible. Now, how it all wraps up. So series 2, I just don't know, gelled with. It really hooked me for Lucifer. Series 5 and 6 had really good, strong stories that pushed us in the right direction. And I just think how I would rank the series 3, I really didn't like. It was too long, and the way they went with Kane, really didn't enjoy that character. And yeah, so series as a whole, I'm actually going to give it a 10 out of 10. I think this is a solid series, really cool, and it's got that binge watchability. I've only watched it once, but I definitely want to watch it again. And I think it's easy to binge watch once you know the plot points and the cool scenes that happen. You can literally go on your phone and miss bits and still be following the story along the way if you wanted to now. Not that I did the first time around, but I can recommend maybe the third time around I'll probably know everything, so I'll just be on my phone. But I would want to watch this show again. It's got that binge watchability about it that I think works. So, Lucifer Morningstar. Let me tell you guys, what do you guys truly desire? That thing was cool. That thing, manipulation, and the angels having different powers was decent. Let's just say that from the get, because there's no point in the end of this video without talking about that and the way he can talk to villains and do that stuff. But yeah, the Cinnamon is also a weird villain. But yeah, there's plenty to talk about. But obviously, I've watched the whole of series 1 to 6 all in one go for the very first time. And like I said, it's a 10 out of 10. I would be watching again at some point in the near future. And each individual character has really progressed quite well. So that's my thoughts and opinions, guys, on Lucifer. What do you guys think of this? Let me know down below. And it's got some banger tracks like music for this show as well. I really enjoy a lot of them. So yeah, there's that as well. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. As always, I see you guys another review on Doctor Who, Star Wars, Rick and Morty, Chucky, DC, Marvel, you name it. Really place to be for a geek like me. So join me and subscribe. See you guys in another video soon. Have a nice day.